Well, despite making back-to-back preliminary finals, not many experts are tipping North Melbourne for this year's premiership. Julian De Stoops sat down with Brad Scott to find out why the Roos are flying under the radar.
Well, Brad, thanks for your time on Fox Sports once more. Seems to be a perception out there it's now or never amongst some for this North Melbourne group. What's your response to that?
Well, I can understand the discussion around that with some senior players and a lot of our really good players getting probably closer to the end of their career than the beginning. But I mean, we've planned out for a long time, you know, not just what 2016 looks like, but 2017 and 18 and even beyond that. So, you know, life's going to continue at North Melbourne beyond 2016, regardless of results.
Obviously, you made 2 prelims in a row, but that next step is a significant one. What gives you the belief you can take that step this year?
Well, I think we've got a lot of improvement. I don't think at any stage last year we really played to our absolute potential. A lot of people would argue that we did. I've got confidence in the system that we've got in place that players who come to this club improve. When you look at the free agents we've brought in, you could argue that all of those have played their best footy with us, even though they've had pretty good careers elsewhere. So, you know, we're still looking at improving our young players, and we still think all our veterans have got improvement in them too.
Does that frustrate you a bit that some people believe reaching a preliminary final, that's about North Melbourne's level, what this group can achieve?
Doesn't really concern me. I mean, football's an opinion-based game. I mean, a lot of people will have opinions contrary to what we believe internally, but you know, there's no point engaging in that. We'll just keep working on the process that we've got in place. And you know, we've got belief, and that's the most important thing. From
the outside, it appears like you've had a bit more match practice this summer. Is that in an attempt to get yourselves playing better at the start of the season?
Well, we definitely tinkered with some things in the pre-season because we haven't had the starts that we've wanted. Some of that's been due to player availability. You know, others probably has been around the intensity of training. Even though we've had a lot of match simulation in the past, we probably haven't had the genuine game simulation, and there is a slight difference. And this year we've played a couple of intra-club games in preparation, and I think we're better placed.
There will be a bit of focus going into round one, the fact you haven't won a round one game since you took over. Do you have to be careful internally not to build it up too much? It's just a round one game.
Well, I mean, it's a big game. I mean, it's always a big game. There's a lot of intensity because players, coaches, fans have been waiting for it for a long time and building towards it. But at the end of the day, it's worth 4 points. But we're not going to sacrifice the end of our season, and we finished off seasons really well in the last couple of years, and we still want to be in that position where we're playing our best footy later in the year, but we still need to qualify in a good spot.
Did your coaching style change a lot when you came back last year? The things that you noticed away from the club, how much did that change the way you go about it and maybe some of the relationships with your players?
Oh, I don't think it changed too much. You know, I think there was a different perspective, which always helps. We had some things we needed to fix, so I mean that was pretty evident. So in terms of those things, we addressed them pretty sternly, but there wasn't a philosophical change there.
Daniel Wells looks fantastic. Is it realistic to think he can get back to the Daniel Wells of old this season, or is he coming from a bit too far back given how much footy he's actually missed?
Well, he's had a really good preparation, so I mean, all he can do is give himself every chance, and you know, he hasn't lost any of his ability or his speed or agility. So, you know, I think that his preparation will give him a chance, but we're not putting any added pressure on him. We just need him to play his role for the team.
Obviously, it's going to be a big year for Boomer. That milestone game is going to be massive for the footy club and for the game in general. Do you worry around about that time? It can be a bit of a distraction.
Well, I think it depends how you manage it, and I think it's largely, you know, how the club chooses to handle it. You know, we had a really strong team focus last year, and it was a really important time of the year for our season as well. So, Boomer was fantastic through that process, and certainly internally with his teammates, wanted to put the focus back on the team. So, you know, I think that sent a really strong message to everyone at the club, and you know, that's going to be another challenge with potentially another milestone coming up this year, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
With Boomer, it was a pretty late call last year in terms of him getting a contract for this season. Do you think that's going to be a similar case once again?
It wasn't any later than it's been any other year. There was probably just more speculation around it, given you know, some milestones were coming up. But the process has been the same for the last 5 years in terms of his negotiation, and that's been largely at his request. So I imagine it will follow a similar path this year.
Brad, once again, thanks for your time on Fox Sports and good luck for the season ahead.
Appreciate it. Thanks.